Good evening, ladies and gents. My name's Mrs. James and I am head of Hoy College. I'd like to just spend this session kind of going through the expectations and kind of how the pastoral element works, and so you guys know what to expect come September. I know Mr. Reevell has just gone through lots of questions with you, but if you've got any further questions, there will be a question and answer function that will be available for you to use, and we'll do our best to answer as many of the questions as we can. So, first of all, I'd like to go through the colleges. Oh, bear with me, it's a little bit slow. So we've got the three different colleges. We've got Hoy College, the best one. Woo! We've got Redgrave College and we've got Ennis College. Each of our colleges are named after athletes, as some of you may already know, some of you may not. So Hoy College is named after Sir Chris Hoy, and we've got Redgrave after Sir Steve Redgrave, and we've got Ennis College named after Dame Jessica Ennis. All of these athletes who were gold medal winners in the 2012 Olympics, so are a big factor in kind of setting the standards and the expectations in achieving highly. We do run a college competition, and as Miss Hull previously said, it does get very, very competitive, particularly between the heads of college, and the students also like to get very, very involved and can get very competitive. Hoy College are the reigning champions, so we did win last year. However, it isn't looking so good for us this year. We are currently in third place. There's not many points in it, so we've still got time to make it up, but we are currently in third, which is a little bit disappointing. So I'm looking forward to you guys coming up and perhaps helping us to push up those college points a little bit. As you can see, Redgrave are in the lead, with Ennis in second, but I think we've still got time to certainly catch them up and overtake. So as I say, the college competition is a big deal, and we do like to use that as a big motivator throughout the years to earn lots of college points that go towards a college competition. And I'll also go through different ways later on that you can earn college points that go towards this. So again, I just want to touch on attendance and punctuality. Barnwell School promotes good attendance and punctuality for every child. Attendance is really important, obviously, for your learning, but it's also really important for your social skills. If you're getting to know people, the more you're in school, the more friends you'll be able to make, and the more people you'll be able to meet. So it's really good to make sure that you are there every day, on time and ready to learn. We do like to obviously reward those students that have good attendance, and there will be opportunities for you to win college points for us, and there are often prizes, and we do reward trips when we're allowed, if you have outstanding attendance. So that is always something to work towards, as well as obviously making sure that we are using our attendance to be punctual to lessons and making sure we are ready to learn. So I'm going to go through the uniform policy very quickly, just so that you all know in what's expected come September when you turn up on your first day. So I'm going to list first of all the compulsory uniform items. So every student starting in year 7 must have a blazer. They will also have a college tie, and as you can see in the pictures, we've got 3 different pictures of ties. We've got a tie with, although you can't see it very well, some purple stripes. We've got a tie with some yellow stripes, and we've got a tie with some red stripes. So the ties link directly to your college colours. So for Hoy College, yellow is our college tie. So if you're going to be purchasing the uniform, it will be the yellow tie that you want to get for Hoy College. Our expectation for trousers is that they are black, that they aren't skinny, so they need to be loose fitting, and they mustn't be denim style. I must always say as well that they should be full length, so no kind of crop trousers either. A standard white shirt, that the expectation is that it's tucked in whilst you are at school. But you do also have the option of skirts, which need to be pleated and no shorter than just above the knee. So they should be pleated all the way around, and they shouldn't be any higher than just above the knee. Okay. When we're talking about shoes, we're looking at black closed toe shoes. So this doesn't include sandals. Unfortunately, trainers aren't allowed, or plimsolls either. We often find as well in the winter time that some students come in boots. Similarly, unfortunately, they aren't allowed. So it's just black closed toe shoes for the uniform. So that's kind of the main uniform that we'll be focusing on, and kind of the compulsory items that you would need for September. So a blazer, a yellow college tie for Hoy College, a standard white shirt, black trousers, not denim or skinny, skirts that need to be pleated all the way round and that come just above the knee, and some black closed toes shoes. Okay, just want to touch on hair, makeup and jewellery. So hair, we don't allow any dyed hair. So if there's any of you thinking, oh, I want to come September with some nice pink or blue hair, unfortunately that won't be allowed. We only accept natural colours. Similarly with makeup, no kind of extreme makeups. We don't mind a bit of subtle makeup, very minimal. And if you do come in with lots of makeup on, it will be asked that you remove it during the school day. Jewellery, we only allow one set of studs in each ear, and that is all, and obviously a watch as well if you'd like a watch, but we can't allow any bracelets or rings or necklaces, unfortunately, and that's mostly to sort of protect them from getting broken, but also links with our expectations of just one set of studs and a watch as the only form of jewellery that we allow. Okay, so I'm going to move on to PE kit now and go through what the expectation is for your PE lessons. You will be having various different PE lessons. You'll be doing lots of different sports in your time at Barnwell, and we obviously want to make sure that you are ready to go whatever the sport you are doing. Okay, so the compulsory items, the ones that we expect, that you do have a Barnwell shirt, which is demonstrated by the one on the side there. So it's got red down the sides, and then a black polo shirt. They also have the Barnwell logo on, which looks really, really smart when on. We also expect shorts or with some suitable sporting trainers, so ones that will be grippy and will support your feet when playing sport. We also expect football boots, because we do go out in the field quite a lot sort of come the winter time, and obviously it gets very, very slippery at times and wet and muddy, so we want to make sure that you are safe in your football boots. And we also insist on some PE red socks. They're kind of red football socks. We do also have some optional items. So we have something called a skirt, which you can see at the bottom of the 3 images on the left-hand side. So the skirt is optional for girls. It's basically a skirt with shorts underneath it. Lots of our netballers prefer to wear this, particularly when we've got fixtures against other schools. So the skirt is an optional extra. Universal jogging bottoms or sports leggings. So again, these have to be purchased from the school. They are logoed, and we must say that we can only have the logoed ones, unfortunately. So we can't have any kind of Nike or Adidas leggings or jogging bottoms. They have to be the Barnwell logoed ones. We do also provide a hoodie that is optional. So it's a Barnwell logoed hoodie. And again, I would recommend this because we do tend to go out in all weathers in our PE lessons. So it's often a good idea to make sure that you've got kind of the hoodie as an extra layer, but it is optional if you'd rather not get it. Come the winter time, obviously, as I say, we do go out, so we often recommend Under Armours as well, so kind of the long sleeve t-shirts, which we allow in black and red, just as an added extra to keep you that little bit warm come those cold winter days. So that's kind of the setup regarding PE kit. As I say, it must be the logoed kit. We don't allow any kind of branded logoed kit, otherwise it just doesn't fit with our uniform policy. Okay, so you're probably all starting to think about what stationery you need to get come September. So I'm going to run through quickly kind of the minimum that we expect in those pencil cases. So, and pencil case, obviously, somewhere to hold all of your stationery. We also like you to have a black and a blue pen. We also insist on a green pen because this is what we use when feeding back to marking within your book. So we also like a green pen. Some pencils, so ready for your art lessons and any kind of science lessons or anything that you're drawing in. We also insist on a scientific calculator as well, so you must have that for your science and maths lessons. An eraser, obviously a ruler, a set square, protractor, compass and a sharpener as well. So we do insist that obviously you have all of that maths equipment ready for your maths lessons. So kind of a lot of stuff to get there, but it'll mean you turn up nice and organised and ready for your lessons. Okay, so I'm just going to move on to show my homework. Some of you may have heard of this or may have used it or may have siblings that use this app, but it is an award-winning virtual homework solution that enables schools to easily and effectively track and monitor homework. So it's a really effective tool that we use to set homework and for students to be able to monitor and track what homework they've got. It also allows us as staff as well to be able to log on to see who is accessing the homework, and you can also hand in the homework via Show My Homework as well. It includes a calendar of all of the homework steps, so you can log into it either on the app, so they do an app, or you can log in online, and it will come up to your home screen. It will show you everything that is due in that week. So it kind of presents as a bit of a to-do list for that week, and you can just check it off once you've completed all of that homework. Parents can also set up a login, so you're able to kind of keep an eye on what homework's being set. You can see what's being handed in, if they're keeping up to date with their homework. And it also, we can also mark it and provide feedback on there as to kind of the standard of the homework as well. So it will just allow parents to kind of keep a track and an eye on how the homework's going, and to get some feedback on the expectations of that as well. So it's a really, really effective tool that's been working really well as our main kind of homework setting tool. Okay, I know Miss Hull touched briefly on this earlier, but I'd like to go over the pride element that we use as a bit of a motive throughout our years at Barnwell and throughout kind of year 7 through to year 11, to ensure that we are becoming a well-rounded person and individual. So there are 5 different elements. We've got passionate to begin with. So this is having a drive and thirst for learning, which is relentless throughout your learning journey. So this is showing that you're going above and beyond. It shows that you're enthused about your learning and you want to get involved, you want to try new things. We also look at resilience and the importance of having resilience. Sometimes things are thrown at us and it's how we manage and deal with that helps to build our character. So it's having the ability to recover quickly and overcome difficult tasks and situations. We also want to create some innovative students, so having the courage to think creatively and thinking outside of that box. We see lots of fantastic new ideas that we've never seen before coming through every single lesson, every single day. And actually this innovation is really inspiring for lots of other students and even for us as staff. So innovative students like to get rewarded for that. Determination, so having an unwavering desire to succeed regardless of the barriers. So again, just willing to carry on no matter what, picking yourself up and going, brushing off and going, I'm going to do this, I'm going to carry on and I'm going to make it better and to succeed. And the final one is empathetic, so having the ability to understand the feelings and circumstances of others. So again, another way of showing a well-rounded individual and somebody who is willing to help others and support others through their learning journey as well. So we've got 5 different areas that we feel are really, really important in making that well-rounded individual. And actually, again, this is something we work towards and reward students for if they are able to achieve these 5 areas come the end of the year. So again, a really good motive and a good push for the college competition, because you get extra points if you manage to achieve these. So you get double the amount of college points if you can get a passionate, a resilient, innovative or a determined or empathetic pride point. So really good ones to get to help us get those extra college points for the college competition. Okay, I've done a bit of a whistle-stop tour there of all of the information and kind of the structure of the day, and the expectations regarding uniform. If there are any questions and answer, Mr. Reevell is going to pass them on to me, and I will do my best to answer them.
You've got a few questions, madam.
Wonderful.
First one is to do with, there's a few PE questions, which is quite good, up your street.
Perfect.
Do the girls need to have shorts as well as a skirt, or can they do one or the other?
They can do one or the other. Lots of girls prefer to wear the leggings. Again, it's completely optional, but you can have the skirt instead of the shorts or leggings. It's your choice.
Thank you. Will football be part of the curriculum, or is it a choice? How does it work in terms of different sports and different groups and all that side of it, and times of the year, I suppose, really?
Okay, yeah, that's a really good question. So basically, we try and get you to experience as many sports as you can, and obviously football is always a really popular choice, so we do like to include it within our curriculum. It has always been part of our curriculum, and you will do a half-termly kind of unit of work on football, and on other sports as well, obviously, but yes, you will have the opportunity to do football both in lessons, and then we also provide extracurricular activities with football. We've had a new AstroTurf recently put in, which some of you may have seen or heard about, which is a fantastic facility that we're able to kind of host fixtures on. So luckily we're starting to get involved with more fixtures against other schools again now, which is brilliant, with some sports, not all. So hopefully by September we'll have a little bit more understanding of where we stand with kind of football fixtures and team sport fixtures, but we have got that great facility to be able to provide some football fixtures on there, as well as kind of in lesson football, and as well extracurricular activities, and football being one of them. We tend to do football in the winter term, so it's likely that it'll either be, I'm not sure yet for definite, it'll either be from September to Christmas, extracurricular wise, or it'll kind of go from January through to Easter. So we'll do a full term on that as kind of an extracurricular activity.
Brilliant. There is a few more PE ones. Shall I keep going on the PE ones while you're on a roll?
Yeah, that's right.
So there's questions about football boots and whether they're artificial or grass. That means something to you, I'm hoping, because that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So what we'd recommend, because we've got the Astro, things like moulds would be good for that. Metal studs aren't allowed on there, so kind of anything that isn't metal studs really. So I'd recommend kind of your moulds would be good. We don't mind trainers being on the Astro, so you don't need to buy AstroTurfs or anything special for that, but we do allow moulds that can adapt to both, so that's probably the best route for football boots.
There's a few different questions about Show My Homework, and I don't know whether you're going to be able to answer these any better than I am, because I don't know the answer to one of them.
Okay.
Do you know whether two different children can be linked to the Show My Homework app, or how that works?
Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming...
Okay, we might have to investigate that one.
Yeah, sorry.
And then there's questions about how parents get access and how they get the pins for Show My Homework. So are you aware of how that works, madam?
Not in detail.
Okay. So as we reach September, we will send out information emails, or maybe even actual pieces of paper, with information on how to log in to Show My Homework for parents. The students will get it on their first day in September, so they can get in quickly. But there'll be a pin and there'll be bits and pieces so that you can set up your Show My Homework account. Uniform question. Are we able to wear tights?
Yes, yeah, of course you are. Yeah, plain black tights are perfectly fine. The only thing we don't ask is sort of that they're patterned or anything like that. So yeah, plain black tights, of course.
And a question about uniform. Can we buy it from the school, or is it only available from Hertford?
I believe it's only available from Hertford.
Okay, so if you want to try it on, it's available from Hertford. It can be bought online as well. So the Kids Connection website, which is linked from the booklet on the transition pages, has got all the stuff to actually buy on the website. But obviously you can't try it on virtually. So if you want to get on and actually try it, then it is back to, you know, a case of a trip to Hertford. We have in the past had Kids Connection come into school. I don't know whether or not they're going to be able to do that, because obviously they've got to quarantine stuff that's worn. COVID's really put a bit of a downer on that one and is mucking it up. But if we can get them in, we will let you know as soon as possible. More questions about football boots, madam. Do both girls and the boys need football boots?
Yes, they do. We'll all be out on the field at different points doing different sports. So yeah, both boys and girls will need football boots.
Oh, and there's a question that I've answered in every school I've been into, but I'm going to let you say exactly the same thing, I suspect, as I've said to every student I've spoken to as I've been in. Other than PE, can we wear shorts?
No, unfortunately. No, unfortunately not. The uniform wise, it's just trousers, I'm afraid, for boys, and skirts or trousers for girls.
Yeah. What colour Under Armour is allowed?
Black or red. So our PE kit's all black, red and white. So we say that black and red are allowed. And again, that needs to be plain, so no kind of branding if possible.
Yeah. And we spoke in the main event about timetables, but the questions come up here. Do people in your college go into the same lessons? So obviously if you're in Hoy College, you know, how does it work? Obviously we're hoping we won't be stuck in bubbles like we've been with our 7s and 8s this year. So, you know, how does that side of it work really?
Yeah, so yeah, similarly, I think we don't know exactly yet. This year it has been the case that students have obviously been in their college classes and they've stayed in that class through all of their subjects, but we're hoping to find out a little bit more detail to give. Obviously we want you guys mixing and being able to meet lots of different people in lots of different classes. So as soon as we know more, we'll obviously let you guys know.
And this is an anonymously posted one. What will happen if you don't wear the right uniform or the correct PE kit? I think we're safe to say that long gone are the days they're going to be running around in their underpants, aren't we, madam?
Definitely. So if you don't have the correct uniform, if there's a reason for that, so for example your shoes break or something like that, if the parent could just write a note to us explaining that the shoes are broken and you're in the process of buying some new ones, we can provide you with what's called a uniform pass. So this will just allow you basically a pass so that you don't pick up any behaviour concerns for not having your uniform. If you've just decided, well, actually, I fancy coming in and something completely different today, then you will pick up what's called a not school ready behaviour concern, and that'll be linked to your uniform, and it'll highlight basically what's wrong with your uniforms, whether it's you're in trainers, forgotten your tie, forgotten your blazer, and it will trigger what's called a standards detention. So that will be a 30-minute detention the next day. So you do really want to be trying to get it right. And the same goes there for PE kit as well. So what we do in PE is we like to give you a warning first of all, because we're all human, we all make mistakes, we all forget things. We just like to say, don't worry on the first time, but just try and get a little bit organised for your next time. But if we're finding that it becomes a bit of a persistent issue, then there will be obviously consequences to follow, very similar to what's on with uniform as well. So classes are not school ready because you're not ready to be learning because you haven't got the appropriate kit. So it may hinder you being able to actually perform practically in the lesson, and you may have to take on a different role. So you want to try and avoid that where possible.
So there's a couple of questions about our week 1 and week 2, which is probably worth a quick mention. Something that comes up, it's obviously very confusing. It's something you don't get in primary schools at all. If we end on a week 1 at the end of a term, do we start back on a week 2, or how does it work, you know, between holidays and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. So yeah, we kind of just imagine the holidays don't happen. So if we finish on a week 1, then we'll start back on a week 2 after the holiday. So we kind of just imagine it doesn't happen. Obviously, that's very different for the summer holidays, because come September, we always start on a week one. Your form tutor will go through all of this with you come September. So if you are worried, obviously just ask. We're all here to help. You know, as I say, we all make mistakes, so don't worry if you get a little bit confused. We'll try and support you as much as we can come September. But yes, sort of over the holidays, we always just roll the weeks on, so we just carry them on. So we imagine that the holidays don't happen.
Yeah, and I think something else to sort of make clear to people, and I've said this every time I've been into schools, is that we're not expecting everybody to arrive in September and day one and know the week one, week two, know the layout, know how everything works. You know, it's all about kind of letting you settle in. We'll be what I've described as a bit of a honeymoon period, and you know, we'll let you work out what's going on before we sort of start sticking the detentions on. I know that's I think that was number 3 worry when I looked at the information. Oh, cashless catering, madam. It might be our last question, but food might be a good way to end on food.
Oh, it is a good way to end, definitely. Ready for dinner time. So yes, we have a cashless system that we use. I think, is it called biometrics? So we basically use your thumbprint, and your thumbprint is scanned, and we use that as a way of paying, basically. So you can upload money online. I think it's through something called the Gateway. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Through the school gateway, so we can upload your lunch money on there, so parents can do that, and then that kind of links to your login, which is directly linked to your thumbprint. So what will happen is you will go and get your lunch, and there'll be like a little pad as you go to the till, and you basically put your thumb on the little pad, and then it will just take the money off without you knowing, and then you can go and eat your lunch. And yeah, it will keep updating you on how much money is left on the account, so that you know whether you need to top up or not. You can. Oh, can we still upload cash? Is that still?
Sorry, madam. Say that one again.
Can they still upload using cash as well at school?
Yeah, so the cash loader's still there. Often the students that have watched my videos and my video tour can easily explain to us why the paint's all scraped off the outside of a cash loader. So there's a weird reason for that. But yeah, so you can still upload cash. The best bit, of course, is, and I've said this to quite a few students when I've been visiting, if you get home and say, oh, I had a salad, of course, parents can log in as well, madam, can't they, into the system and have a look at what you actually have bought. And it was 17 cakes. It doesn't quite work out so well, does it? Not that we'd let you buy 17 cakes. Okay, exercise books. Will they be provided by the school, or do parents need to purchase?
No, we'll provide them. They're all provided by the school. We have obviously adapted now with COVID and stuff. There were some restrictions, but we'll keep the exercise books at school, where we're able to mark them and feedback to students based on their work.
Yeah, that makes sense. And there's a little question that I'll answer about how did we allocate colleges. And just really the way that we've done it is very, very complicated. We take a lot of information into account. Primarily, our aim is to try and get at least one of the friends that you've picked to be with you as a group, as a friendship group. That may well then lead on to a bigger group, because it may well be that there were, your friend had put down different friends, and that group kind of grows in size. And then that gets allocated into a college somewhere. Exactly which college it gets issued into is down to a number of other factors that are more about school structure than anything else. We try and put the siblings together if they've asked for it, but what I won't do is put siblings together at the expense of allowing friendships to go together. So that's really to answer that one. The other question, madam, I'm going to make this the last one, because I said that about 15 questions ago, I think. So first day in September, madam, can you just talk us through roughly the kind of thing that we've done in the past with that?
Yeah, of course. So obviously it'll be a big day. I'm sure some of you are feeling a little bit worried about it, but you don't need to be at all, okay? We are there to help you and to support you and to guide you through those first few days and weeks. So on the first day, you'll turn up to the front gates and you'll see lots of members of staff standing there, and we'll guide you through the school as to where you'll go. And you'll go, first of all, to go and sit in the hall. Lots of people then introduce themselves. So you'll have Mr. Roberts, who I know you've seen this evening, will be there. Mr. Reevil, obviously, the heads of college will be there. Miss Hull. So all of these faces that you've seen tonight will kind of reintroduce themselves and kind of wishing you all the best of luck. First of all, in the hall, we will then send you off with your form tutor. So by that point, we'll allocate you a form group and a form tutor, and you'll go off with those, and you'll have kind of a day in pastoral sessions. So you'll do things like you'll have a tour of the school, you'll have time to sit down and do some little games and activities to meet the other people in your form, and there'll be lots of different things, lots of chances for you to ask questions, check things that you're unsure of. You'll get your timetable, and yeah, just kind of the first day is all about just getting you guys familiar with the site, because obviously unfortunately you haven't been able to really see it much, and some of you may have, but yeah, getting you familiar with the site, familiar with the faces, and just there to kind of introduce you gradually into Barnwell Middle School and kind of the start of your secondary school experience. As Sir said earlier, obviously there is that honeymoon period, so we will allow you kind of a couple of days, weeks, just to settle in and find your feet, and we'll obviously be there to support you during that time.
Brilliant. I think there's a couple of other questions about how we support people, and I think I do honestly believe we are a very supportive school. There's a question about what happens if you don't have enough money for food. You know, we're obviously not going to let your child starve. That would be ridiculous. You know, we've got the honeymoon period. We understand people don't know the way around. So, you know, we are fair, we are human, so we'll do our best, very, very best, but really looking forward to working with you. Mrs. Jones, thank you very much for your time this evening. We are now moving on to form group events, so I've got mine sitting here ready to roll. Not that I'm the form tutor, I am the facilitator, but I'm going to meet my lot, and thank you very much, Mrs. Jones, and thank you to Hoy College.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in September, guys. Have an enjoyable rest of the evening.